Young and the Restless prediction, Cameron pushes Sharon over the edge. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. In recent YNR episodes, Sharon Newman's behavior began to change. The new bipolar medication her doctor put her on wasn't sitting well with her. However, instead of working with the doctor to find a different medication like she said she was going to do, she stopped taking it. At first, she felt okay, but then, she started hallucinating, mostly of her late daughter, Cassie Newman. Also, she hallucinated kissing her ex-husband, Nick Newman. Then, things took a dark and shocking turn when she began to hallucinate Cameron Kirsten on Sharon conjures up Cameron Kirsten on YNR. Things are significantly worse for Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, now that she's envisioning Cameron Kirsten, Lyndon Ashby. Not only is she having visions of him, but they're having full-on conversations. He's around all the time, even when her family is there. She knows he is a figment of her imagination, he even told her that. He represents the part of her that she doesn't want to acknowledge on Young and the Restless. He brings out her darker impulses and urges her to do things she normally would never consider. Now, things are intensifying because of the car accident involving her daughter, Faith Newman, Raylan Castor. Recently, she gave Lucy Romalotti, Lily Brooks O'Brien, a ride home because she was drunk. When she got sick in the car, Faith lost control and they crashed. No doubt, this brings back terrible memories for Sharon. It goes back 20 years ago, when Lucy's father, Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziadei, killed Cassie Newman, Cameron Grimes, because he was driving under the influence. No doubt, it's all too familiar and is filling Sharon with rage because she blames Lucy. Young and the Restless prediction, Sharon makes horrifying move? Of course, she also has Cameron chirping in her ear about how Lucy is to blame for almost killing Faith the same way Daniel killed Cassie. Also, he holds Daniel responsible for everything. This is how Sharon feels deep down inside. And, soon, it looks as though Cameron may convince Sharon to get revenge. Not just on Lucy but on Daniel too. Official false spoilers for Young and the Restless confirm that Sharon lands in a dangerous predicament that will change her life forever. Plus, it affects Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, also. And it is Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, who rescues Sharon when this happens. Additionally, Daniel and Lucy's mom, Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom, face a crisis that devastates them. So, it certainly seems that Sharon may somehow cause Lucy's death. Indeed, that qualifies as a crisis and it definitely impacts Phyllis because Lucy is her granddaughter. On the other hand, Sharon is getting increasingly jealous of Phyllis's bond with Nick. So, it could very well be Phyllis that she targets on Young and the Restless. If so, she will likely survive, but there's always a chance she won't. She and Sharon have some powerful scenes coming up to celebrate both of their 30th anniversaries on the soap. So, it's sure to be huge and dramatic and nothing will be the same afterward. YNR spoilers and updates promise major shakeups. Tune in each day to see if Sharon Newman turns homicidal with Cameron Kirsten's help on the CBS soap opera. The air in Genoa City was thick with unease, a kind of pressure that settled over the Newman ranch like a storm cloud just before the first crack of thunder. Sharon Newman had grown used to the lingering sense of dread ever since Cameron Kirsten reappeared in her life. But this was different. This was the sort of dread that clung to her bones. For weeks, Cameron had danced on the edge of legality, his every move calculated, each smile laced with venom. His presence was a ghost from a past Sharon had fought hard to bury. Yet, he emerged, as he always did, when she least expected, rising from the ashes of her healed traumas like a phoenix, only he brought fire rather than rebirth. Cameron's games had begun subtly. A returned scarf she'd lost years ago. A single rose left on her car hood, one with no card, just a familiar scent that dragged her into a spiral of memories she'd tried to suppress. He was clever, never overt, always lurking just beyond proof, always a step away from justice. Her therapist told her to breathe through the panic. Her children urged her to keep the past in the past. Nick tried to intervene more than once, but Sharon had long learned that danger cloaked in charm often eluded the eyes of others. Cameron didn't have to hurt her physically to wound her. He knew how to twist the psychological knife just right, without leaving a mark. The dreams started soon after. In them, Sharon wandered through the Crimson Lights coffee house, alone and barefoot, only to discover herself being watched by eyes that glowed like embers from the dark. Always out of reach, always a whisper behind her, Cameron had become a phantom that haunted even her subconscious. The line between reality and nightmare began to blur. Cameron didn't need access to her home to invade it. He manipulated her world with whispers in the right ears, sowed seeds of doubt in her business, and sabotaged her sense of safety with eerie precision. Employees quit without notice. Strange customers came in asking about long-forgotten events from her past. The electricity flickered every time she stayed late to close shop. Once, she found an old photo of herself tucked under the register, a Polaroid from a summer long gone, her smile wide, her eyes unaware of what was to come. It hadn't been there the day before. Sharon knew it was a message. She didn't tell anyone. There was nothing they could do. There never was.